In this live stream, we will be joined by Rick Sherman from Datadog. We will provide an overview of observability, introduce Datadog as an observability platform, and demonstrate the setup of Datadog and AWS service integration. Additionally, a demo application will be deployed to be used on a hands-on demonstration of how Datadog can be used to observe applications as well. Finally, concepts and tips related to observing customer-owned services will also be discussed as well within our Twitch stream today. Mr. Rick Sherman from Datadog, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to see you. Thank you for appearing on the Big Dev Theory.
Oh, glad to be here. Nice to see you again. Dwan, nice to meet you.
Hey, Rick, welcome. Nice to meet you as well.
And this is like a trifecta of beards, right? I feel it's kind of like the circle is complete now.
Right. Beards and networking backgrounds. That's a great environment for this episode. Datadog exists to pull in lots of different pieces of information to solve that complex visibility problem that you all kind of alluded to. And also, they didn't see the slide beforehand, so that conversation was like just a genuine conversation. It wasn't a tee up for this. But there's lots of different places where information comes from, right? You've got the infrastructure itself, you've got the application, you've got the user behavior, you got databases and networking and all of this stuff.
Yes.
Datadog attempts to ingest all of that and make it usable across all the different domains. I do have a pre-populated Datadog account. The reason that has a lot of the information that I want to talk about in here, but I'm going to show you how I set that up by adding some additional accounts and some additional services and things like that to it. Okay. And so I started here with the infrastructure view within Datadog because I don't want to spoil all of the fun bells and whistles I already have configured here. But this is showing me some of my compute resources that Datadog is aware of. And you can see there's a few different little icons here. We can see that some of this information is coming from AWS already. Some of this information is also coming from the Datadog agent. And so a few different ways information will come into Datadog. And so within integrations, within Datadog here on the left, we can see a list of the integrations that I could install. These are just some of them, but NASCAR slide, right? Tons and tons and tons of logos.
Yep.
So I already have one AWS account added to here, which is my Datadog one. I'm going to add my personal account to this as well. And so what I did here is just select the region. So this kind of wizard installer here is going to kick off a CloudFormation stack. So I'm going to pick what AWS region I want to put that into, and then what API key I want to use to populate that. So we can have multiple API keys for all the sources pushing data in. You can revoke it if it gets stolen. So like when I show everyone my API key here in about 30 seconds, after the stream, I can go in here and revoke the API key. Unless you want to send me observability data, I'll poke around.
Hey, that works for me.
I don't know. So there's two questions I have to answer here. Do I want to send AWS logs to Datadog? So you might already be doing things in CloudWatch or S3 buckets. You can also forward them over to Datadog. Reasons you may want to do that. There's a variety of reasons you may choose not to do that. I'm going to send them over because I'm going to show you how to do it. And there's a bunch of information here on this side panel. The reason I want to show it here is that we can see these key value pairs.
Okay. These
are what we call tags within Datadog. And so we try to tag everything that comes into Datadog with as much information as possible so that we can correlate, combine, and do all that kind of magic with it. And so, for example, I've got AWS. These are tags that I got from the AWS integration, right? So this is an EC2 box. I now know it's AZ, which AWS account it is, its instance type, IAM profile, all of this stuff that we have knowledge of because of the AWS integration.
Yep.
But then I also have metrics on the box from the agent, for example. So now I'm actually looking at things like CPU and memory.
Oh, cool.
Datadog agent that I deployed to that box. So for this, I'm going to add our tracing library to the Python project. So this is a Flask project Python. I'm going to add ddtrace, which is what we need for that.
Did you see how quickly then you exited Vi? That was, to me, that's it now. Shut the stream down. Fantastic. Job done.
Yep. I figured it out. It was all hilarious when I actually, first time I used VI.
Yeah.
And it was boggling. I was like, just let me out, please.
Yeah.
I don't here anymore. Yeah. And so I deployed an e-commerce site that we use a bunch in our own demo org. It's got a bunch of different services. We can see that there's a lot of information coming about it because we have APM turned on, latency, error rates, request rate, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But you've never seen this app before. This is just like a list of services that doesn't make sense to you all. So I like the map view of it because it shows me how my services are interacting.
Yes.
And so I can actually like hover over the store front end and see where information is flowing through these different components of the application.
I love that.
So as you're getting into more distributed applications, you need more distributed tracing. And a service could be comprised of 50 containers, right?
Right.
1,000 containers. So having that combined view of it kind of allows you to go deeper and deeper